The truth within the story of Bleach must have been covered up with the lie that's the origins of Soul Society.
Master WB, may I inquire on which world are you watching?
Data, there are many stories on the battle of good versus evil. Not all evils are beings truly evil, but just circumstances that lead to the events that played out. Now what if the story that we were told wasn't the story's truth, but one from a different point of view? I think Bleach may be one such tell. This Soul King story feels like it reverses the roles and tells a different story.
Accessing one-shot files series Bleach. Before the creation of the world as we know it today, this primordial world was a place where the sense of life or death didn't exist. Beings just existed in spiritual forms that lived in constant threat of becoming hollows or being devoured by one. In time, special souls came into existence, but one stood above any soul that came before. Millions of years prior to his ultimate demise, the being that became known as the Soul King emerged from this chaotic, primordial world overrun by hollows. To protect the original inhabitants, the Soul King proceeded to annihilate all the hollows that preyed upon them. However, these actions eventually started to destabilize and lead to the world's destruction. In response, 5 powerful beings who become the forefathers of the 5 great houses decided to work together to fix everything, and for their own respective reasons, sealed an unresisting Soul King inside a crystal, and used his omnipotent powers to split the world into 3 new ones: Soul Society, yhwach, and the human world, and in the process created the cycle of life and death. Despite the Soul King's lack of resistance, the 5 beings were unconvinced of the Soul King's cooperation and feared his immense power, and proceeded to first tear off the right arm of stillness and the left arm of progress, before taking their time to carve out his heart, whittle away his legs, and mutilate and tear out his organs, leaving the Soul King trapped in an agonizing state between life and death for millions of years. According to the ancient texts, the Soul King is not involved in governing Soul Society and never interferes. The Soul King's sole purpose is to regulate the flow of souls into and out of Soul Society and keep the flow stable. Without the Soul King, balance between the Soul Society, yhwach, and the human world will all collapse back into one. It was during the 1,000-year blood war that he is killed by an unwilling Ichigo due to being half Quincy.
Subscribe for the rest of the story.